Okay, out of these following gifts, life insurance proceeds, wages and salaries, and child support payments, which of these are considered taxable income?
C.
C is correct.
Are considered taxable.
Yes. So none of the others are taxable, and really we won't get into what's taxable and not until chapter 4. So
Gift received, isn't there a certain amount adverse or taxable?
Child support's taxable.
is not taxable. Which one?
Okay, is it?
Yeah. So which of these?
Taxable, not non-taxable.
Which of these is taxable? Only wages and salaries. The rest are not taxable.
What? When did that change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gifts received is never taxable income, but there is a thing called a gift tax, which is a separate issue outside of income tax.
So yeah, if somebody gives you over $12,000 or something.
Yeah, it's $18,000 in 2024, and all that means is after $18,000, they're required to file a gift tax return, and there still won't be any tax on that until they exceed the lifetime limit of $13.5 million.
Okay.
But that's a gift tax. That's separate. That coordinates with estate tax, and those are both outside of income tax. Those are separate issues. Okay, what's the standard deduction for a single filer in the 2023 tax year?
C.
Yep, C, 13,850, correct. Which section of the 1040 is report income from wages, salaries, and tips? Yep, line 1, and there's a whole bunch A through Z, I think. Okay, where on Form 1040 do you report your total taxes due?
Yeah, I was confused on that one because there's the total tax and then there's the tax you owe.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with line 37 because that's the final tax.
37 would be the tax you owe if you didn't pay enough, but your total tax for the whole year is
So
line 24.
It was 20. Okay.
Yeah. So remember, as we go through the procedure, we figure your total tax, we figure your total payments, and whichever one is more, if your payments are more than your tax, you get a refund. If your tax is more than your payments, you have a balance due.
Yeah, I went back and forth on those two for a little bit. Pick one.
All right. Out of these following individuals, there's going to be one on the next page, so let's try to fit that all on the screen here. Who is required to file a tax return for 2023?
C.
See, single under 65, 10,000, no.
Oh,
Mary,
wait, I have the wrong page in front of me, sorry.
Oh.
D.
Yes, that's right, D.
I was looking at.
Yep, C would be incorrect because the threshold is 20,800. Okay, who should file a tax return even if not required? A, if you had federal income tax withheld. What is the deadline for filing individual tax return for the 2023 tax year? B, April 15th, 2024. If you can't file your tax return by then, you can file an extension. Which form is used for that?
The 4868?
That's correct, 4868. If you can't pay the full amount you owe by the due date, what should you do?
I said B.
B, yeah, file on time and pay as much as you can.
C.
Yeah, so if you file late, the penalty, if you owe, is 5% of what you owe per month, up to a maximum of 5 months. So if it comes around to April 15th and you're like, you owe $3,000, you decide not to file, and you file like 2 months later, that $3,000, 10% on top of that is another $300. So that escalates pretty quickly. However, if you file on time and you pay late, the penalty is only 0.5% per month, up to a maximum of 25%. So if you file on April 15th and you can't pay right away, and you owe $3,000, 2 months later you finally come up with the money, it's only 1%, and you have to pay an extra $30. There's also interest, which is 8% per year, so probably going to be about $3,050 or $3,060. So yes, the answer is file on time and pay what you can. The more you pay, the less your failure to pay penalties will accrue. Which of the following is true about e-filing of tax returns? C. Yeah. Faster processing, quicker refunds. If you mail your return to the IRS, according to the IRS published guidance, which has not been true for a while, the refund would be about 3 to 4 weeks. But our experience, it would be more like 6 to 10 weeks if you mail your tax return to the IRS. If you file electronically, you'll get your refund generally within 10 to 21 days. Filing requirements for most taxpayers are determined by what 3 factors? A, gross income, filing status, and age. So that's one reason, as we'll find out today, why filing status is important. What are the 5 filing statuses again?
Married, filing jointly, married, filing separately, head of household, and qualifying for C.
Yep.
Under C.
Let's see. So they used to be called qualifying widow or widower, and they changed it, updated to qualifying surviving spouse. Yeah, none of these are actually correct because this should say qualifying surviving spouse. But I think, let me see what their answer is. Okay, they picked C. Okay, how much unearned income can a dependent receive in 2023 before they're required to file? So let's say their only income is unearned.
1,250.
Yeah, 1,250, and that includes a permanent fund dividend. So anybody who got 1,600 and whatever it was last
I
year.
was confused because it said less than or
Mhm.
equal to, and I thought it had to be over 1250.
You're saying 600.
Yeah, if it's over 1,250, you're required to file. If it's less than or equal, then you're not required to file.
So if the answers all say less than or equal to, then it would be none of them, right?
Well,
Well, equal.
no, less than or equal is the opposite of more than. So if you're
Right,
exactly
so-
at 1,250, you're not required to file a tax return. But if you're at 1,251, then you're more than 1,250, you are required.
I had that question on.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying that, now okay. How much can they get before they have? Okay.
Right.
That before, that part.
And why should someone file even if they're not required to file?
Both A and B.
Both A and B. If you have any withholding, or if you made any payments, or if you qualify for any refundable credits.